Yes, you can start.
Okay. Uh, Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Sapna Ahira, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Pharmaceutics, MITS Institute of Pharmacy, Bhuj Knowledge City. I'm extremely sorry that due to some family problem, Divya has cancelled her session. So we are here with Amit Patni, who is working recently in solid orals in Abbott Healthcare. He has completed his B Farm from MITS Institute of Pharmacy. He has completed his graduation in IPER Wardha, Nagpur. He has started his career in formulation and development. He has the huge experience from the giant pharmaceutical companies like Cipla and Sun Pharma. And recently he is working in Abbott Healthcare. Today he is going to share the important information on generic product development and ANDA filing. So already this topic it is known to all the BPharm and MPharm student, but right from industrial perspective, Mr. Amit will going to guide you in today's session. Welcome, Amit. You can start your session. All the best.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction. I will share my screen. Is my screen visible? Hello.
Yes, Amit, your screen is visible. Hello. But
Yes, sir.
presentation is not visible.
Okay, okay. Just a second. So now it's visible. Hello. My screen is visible now.
Yes, Amit, yes. Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So, good morning, everyone. As Dr. Sapna ma'am has told, I am working in about healthcare. So, my total experience is 8 years. So, from 8 years, I am working in development department in mainly in solid oral. So, today we will rather than saying I am presenting a session, I will say that today you will learn something new with respect to the generic drug product development and ANDA filing. How the product is being developed in in industries, and how the process of ANDA filing, mainly of generic drug, is happen. So let's start with the session. So what will be the today's session based on? So it will be the based on some introduction, some patents and its types of certification, product development, resources used for the ANDA submission, ANDA filing, how the process of the ANDA filing does, and drug approval process, how the when we file the ANDA application, how the that application is being reviewed, then different dossier filing requirements of different regulatory bodies, and last we will have a Q&A session. So let's start with the introduction. So what is a generic drug basically means? So it is the same as a brand name drug in dosage, safety, strength, how it is taken, quality, performance, and intended use. Brand name drug is we can say that as an innovator drug, which is already filed as an NDA. So the generic drug application is called as are called as abbreviated. That is why because it is called as abbreviated, because it not required to include the preclinical and clinical human studies. These studies has already been conducted by the innovator company. So it is called as abbreviated. So you can say that ANDA, that is abbreviated new drug application, or the generic drug application. So it contains the data. When submitted to FDA, it provides the review and ultimate approval of the generic drug product. So we have to compare this ANDA with the NDA, that is innovator drug, or also called as RLD. So RLD is a listed drug identified by the FDA as the drug product upon which an applicant relies in seeking approval of its NDA. So, as by the definition, you can see that RLD is an innovator drug, and we have to compare our NDA, ANDA with RLD. So in 1984, there was an act. Also, the act was called as Drug Price Competition or Patent Term Restoration Act, also called as Hatch-Waxman Act. So what this act amended that 505(b)(2) and 505(j) approval pathways. I will tell what is this both the term means. These acts expedite the availability of generic drug products and provided that the generic drug manufacturer shows that no patent infringement would occur. So now let's see what is the 505(b)(2) application. So it is an application that contains full reports of investigation of safety, effectiveness, but where at least some of the information required for approval comes from the studies which are not conducted by the applicant. So basically 505(b)(2) means you can call it as an NDA application. And now see what is 505(j) application. So it is an application that contain information to show that the proposed drug is identical to the active ingredient, dosage form, strength, route of administration, labeling, quality, performance, characteristics with the NDA product. So basically 505(j) means ANDA generics that we file. And also there is one term, it's called as 505(b)(1). So B1 is purely and totally NDA. So these are the terms which is used to file. So 505(j) means the generic drugs. So basically, why we develop the generic drugs? Although it is available in the market, the innovator is although available in the market. So why we develop the generic drug? So basically, there are some two three uh, scenario that where the generic drugs have to come into the picture. So means mainly is the cost. As you can see, the innovator drug is highly expensive, and while the generic drug is less expensive. So that's why that's why the generic drug we have to file the generic drug. Second thing, the patent protection. So the innovator drug, whenever he develops the product, he files the patent against that. So and for the generic drug, there is no such patent is there. And second is the product development time. So while developing the innovator, the it takes approx 12 years for the development of the innovator product, because they will perform, or they will do the preclinical studies and clinical studies, all they have to perform. So it takes time, while the generic drugs, it takes only 2 to 4 years. So we can see the comparison between innovator drug and generic drug. So for the generic drugs, the active, safety, efficacy, quality, and performance should be same as that of the innovator drug. Then cost, we can see that it is less expensive than innovator drug. Then the FDA inspection of manufacturing facilities, FDA review reports of adverse reaction, FDA reviews labeling, all this has been done for the innovator drug. And for the generic drug, the FDA reviews labeling is not required, as we are developing same as that of the innovator drug. Then extensive research and investment is required for the innovator drug. As I have said, it is highly expensive. A cost is involved in this, and for the generic drug is not required. Then expensive marketing is required for the innovator drug, and that is not required for the generic drugs. So by seeing this comparison, so the generic drugs is less expensive, and it develops within a 2 to 4 years of timelines. Then let's see about the patents and the types of certification that can be filed for the generic drug product development. So first one is the paragraph 1. It is also called as the para 1 certification. In this case, the no patent information on the brand name drug has been submitted to the FDA. That means that innovator has not. That means the regulatory body has no information regarding the patent with respect to the brand name drug, that is RLD or innovator. Then paragraph 2 means para 2, that the listed patent has expired. The innovator has filed a patent and it has been expired. So in that case, we can file generic drug under the para 2 filing. Then the paragraph 3, or also called as para 3. In this, the listed patent will expire on a certain date, and before which the generic companies will file against that patent to enter the market. And last one is the paragraph 4, also called as para 4 filing. In this, the patent is invalid or will not be infringed by the manufacturer or sale of the new drug for which the AND has been submitted. So these are the four types of patent certification that the generics can file. So when the generic makes a para 1 and 2 certification, the FDA may approve its ANDA immediately. As we can say that there are no patent information available in para 1, and in para 2 the patent has already been expired. The FDA may approve para 3 certification anytime after the patent's expiration date. And for the para 4 certification is not nearly as simple, because it can go under the litigations and at that time. Or also we have to take care that we have to non infringe the that patent. So let's start with the product development. How in industry the product has been developed right from the starting and till submission, ANDA submission. So we can see in the flow chart. Uh, I can say that during MFARM projects, as we do the literature search for the up project. So same year we also do the literature search with respect to the drug product, with respect to the drug, with respect to the technology that we used to we will do during development. So same here we will do the literature search here first. Then active sourcing. Active sourcing means we have to source the API, the active ingredient. We have to look for the different vendors for the active sourcing. Then we have to evaluate that active with respect to its physical and chemical properties. Then after finalizing that active ingredient from a particular vendor, we will give that then we have to purchase it, that the active ingredient, and then we will start a drug product development activities. And the next step comes as the innovator product purchasing and testing. So after finalizing the active ingredient, we have to procure the innovator sample, so against which we are developing a generic product. So we will procure that innovator sample, then we will purchase and we will do the testing, all that in vitro testing we will perform initially. Then we will have to evaluate the excipient. So some novel excipients if we are using, then we have to identify that initially, and then we have to accordingly do the purchasing of that. Then simultaneously we have to do the evaluation of packaging material also. So which type of packaging material we are using for the drug development, which type we can go for the we can file a generic drug product. Basically we as per the innovator pack, we keep the same pack as that of the innovator. But in case if we have to file if we have to go with the different packs, then we have to do some evaluation. Then manufacturing process development. After doing this procurement of all the excipient APIs, we have to manufacture our drug product. So for this we will use different methods, different granulation. Sorry, granulation means we have to identify the process and we have to develop by which process we are going to develop a product. Then simultaneously the analytical method is being developed side by side. This is a parallel activity. Then after this, the process optimization we have to do. So process optimization will be done by QBD or by DOE trials. In further slides, I will explain in much detail. Then, after process optimization and formula finalization, we do the analytical method transfer. This transfer means we are going now from R&D scale to plant scale. So before that, we have to transfer all these analytical method activities, and then then we take the scale up batch at plant level. In this, the batch size is definitely is going to increase from R&D scale to lab scale, sorry, to plant scale. Then further, we take the pivotal batch and we perform the bio study. Then after the results of bio studies we got, then we prepare the documents for the filing. We start the preparation of documents for filing the ANDA submission. Then further, the process validation and revalidation, this steps is occur in the plant where the product will be get commercialized. And then finally we do the ANDA submission. So let's have a look at each and every step very briefly. So we can, as you can see that the literature search we used different references or the different literature for particular product. Example, we use USP, BP, Daily Made is the site, then EMC. Then we have to we can refer as a UKPAR. That means product approval report for different regulatory markets. So on FDA side, there is also FOI is present for that innovator product. FOI means freedom of information. Then we have to do patent evaluation, then with the help of Orange Book and dissolution database. So all this we refer for the literature search before initiating any projects. Then, as I said, we have to source the active. At least two suppliers we have to source for the API, and then we request the sample from them. Then we do the evaluation of that active API with respect to DMF availability, compliance with USP, monograph, impurity profile, stability, statement of non-patent infringement. So all this we have to look for the after evaluation of suppliers of the active. Then we purchase the after evaluating, we purchase this API from the vendors and we start a project. Then we have to do the active testing. After purchasing, we do develop the in-house method. If the supplier test methods are and specification are available, then we refer that, or otherwise we develop a in-house method based on the manufacturer. Then we as I said, then the next step comes the innovator purchasing. So at least three different lots, we with all the pack size and all the strength, we procure the RLD for the testing. And then innovator testing is performed. That in vitro data we have to generate with respect to chemical and physicochemical data we have to generate of innovator testing. Then comes the evaluation of excipient. So excipient compatibility and stability assessment is done with respect to the API and excipient. And if we are using some novel excipient, then we have to select accordingly the grade and all that. And after excipient selection, we perform the excipient compatibility studies, whether the API and the excipients are compatible or not. Then the packaging material is evaluated based on the container closure system and packaging material uh, by which we have to which packaging system we have to go further. Then comes the manufacturing process development. So evaluation of manufacturing process, whether we have to go from direct compression or wet granulation or slugging in respect to solid orals. So we have to finalize the process based on the then after final formula and process to be established with accelerated stability data. So not the process manufacturing process, but we have to mainly look for the stability data also. Then the analytical method development is this is the simultaneous activity we perform. Then the method is been developed at IND, and if the method is not available on in any of the documents, then we have to develop the in-house method. Then after development, we have to validate that same method. Then the process optimization is carried out. or with the help of the QBD application, or we can say with the help of the DOE trials, design of experiments. So we have to show that the formula and the process is set, and if any changes in the formula or process happens, that will not impact on a product development, or that will not have an adverse effect on a product. Then after QBD, after process optimization, scale up is done. So at this stage, we are going from lab scale to plant scale. In this, the uh, batch size got increased, and all the parameters and all that we have to evaluate during scale up. So process qualification batch and scale up batch may be evaluated as a single batch. The preparation of scale up report, the scale up report forms a part of overall development report. So after taking the scale up batch, we have to set the parameters, at what parameters we are going for the exhibit batch or for the commercial batches. So we have to set the parameters in a large scale batch. So after that, we developed the scale up report. So this became the part of the overall development report. Then after scale up, we take the pivotal batch. So the size of the pivotal batch is as per not less than 1 lakh unit per pack. So we the pivotal batch should be the batch size should be like that. We have to minimum pack 1 lakh units of tablets or capsule. That is the requirement of the pivotal batch, or it can be the 10% of the proposed market batch. Market batch means the commercial batch, so it should be the 1/10 of the commercial batch, or minimum 1 lakh units to be packed. After the taking the pivotal batch, we evaluate the all the data, physical and chemical data of that pivotal batch, and out of that we send for the bio study. Mainly we take the three pivotal batches at plant scale. Out of the three batch, we send one batch for the bio study, that is for the BE study. So it the BE studies perform on fasted and food effect at a pivotal lot sample. Then biostudy generally perform on the higher strength of the product, because the lower strength we can take the biowaiver for the lower strength by generating the in vitro data, that is the dissolution data, and by matching the F2 test. So for BioWaiver, for multiple strength product, in vitro dissolution testing in different pH media on lower dosage form. So we have to generate the um, multi-dissolution data for the lower strength, and then we have to perform the F2 test. And this F2 is carried out is comparable with the higher strength. There are other requirements also, with there are certain criteria for F2. So we will be seeing in the next session, in coming session. Then after BE study results, after we getting the bio study results, we started to prepare the documents for filing. So there are the different documents that we have to prepare for the submission process. So first is come the development report, or it also called as the product development report, or PDR. So in this PDR, it comes the whole development activity, right from the development at R&D scale to the plant scale. Then plant and laboratory documentation as per ANDA, then a CGMP of manufacturing processes, then biostudy report, and product process validation protocol to be complete and signed. So all these documents we have to prepare for the submission. Then came the process validation. So these activities is taken at the plant level. For that, three batches is to be taken. Then we have to show that the intra batch similarity and inter batch similarity between the bio batch and the commercial validation batch. So this we have to show that the our pivotal batch and the process validation batch is same, and the results are coming also the same. Then after process validation, we submit the ANDA submission. So the submission of the dossier, it is also called as submission of dossier. So all this activity The ANDA submission contains all the documents, all the plant activities and R&D documents. So finally, we do the ANDA submission. So there are some resources for the ANDA submission. So there are some guidance documents of ANDA that are available on the FDA site. Then there are some manual of policy and procedures that we have to follow. There are some checklist for that is available. So we have to follow that checklist for the submission of ANDA. Then freedom of information is there. As I told earlier, we can refer this FOI for the during development stage. Then the drug master file is there. We refer the USP as a USP for some information. Then ICH guideline we have to follow at some part, and there is a Title 21 Code of Federal Regulation, that is 21 CFR. So these are the resources we take as a reference, or we can take the information for during the ANDA submission. So, what is the guidance documents for AND? So, there are different guidance documents available at each and every stage. So, we have to refer that guidance document, and these guidance documents are the current agency's current thinking on a particular subject, and these are prepared for the FDA review staff and applicants to provide guidelines to the processing, content, evaluation of application. And with this help of guidance, we can design and develop a product. And there are some manual of policies and procedures also available, and these are available for the FDA staff for the approval process or drug review process. Then freedom of information is available on the FDA side for that innovator product or that RLD product. Then the drug master file is available. DMF is a submission to the FDA that may be used to provide confidential detailed information about the facilities, process, article used in manufacturing, processing, packaging, and storing of one or more human drug. So mainly we can see that DMF is a part of drug. So there are four types of application: type 1, 2, 3, and 4. So mainly, basically, type 2 filing is for drug substance intermediates, material used in the preparation and all that. So we have to look for the DMF grade API. So basically, while filing to the regulatory market, the API is to be DMF grade. Then we refer the USP for any official dissolution methods or any other information if it is official in USP. If our product is official in USP pharmacopoeia. Then ICH, we have to follow some ICH guideline also during the development. And there is a 21 CFR. So this regulation enable a common understanding of the regulatory process by describing the requirements to be followed by the drug manufacturer, applicants, and FDA. So, for example, the 21 CFR Part 211. So, this is the current good manufacturing practice for finished pharmaceuticals. So, in this part, all the information is they have covered all the information how to develop the product with current good manufacturing practices. And in 21 CFR Part 314, FD approval to market a new drug. So in this part, all the information is been covered for market a new product in regulated market, or mainly the ANDA submission to US market. So each and every point has been covered in this 21 CFR. So how the ANDA filing is done? So after developing the drug product, after taking the pivotal batch, after preparing all the documents, we have to file this ANDA. So ANDA is being done by the submission of dossier, as I said earlier, that contains all the required information. So it has been it can be submitted in two formats, in CTD and eCTD. So what is CTD? It is a common technical document, and nowadays the all the regulated markets they are uh, we have to file in electronic formats of all these common technical documents. So there is a checklist for the this ANDA checklist that we have to follow for making this all the documents. So, what is the CTD? What are the documents that contain in the CTD module? So, common technical documents. It is a paper-based standard to submit a relevant product data to health authorities. So, we have to submit the all the paper-based documents in CTD to all the health authorities or regulated agencies. So CTD, it was a joint venture for the three regulatory agencies, namely FDA, EMA, that is European Medicine Agency, and PMDA, that is of Japan. So what are the modules in present in CTD? So there are five modules that we that contains in CTD. So module 1 is administrative information and prescribing information. Then module 2 contains CTD summary. Then module 3 contains quality. Module 4 contains non-clinical study reports, and module 5 contains the clinical study reports. So we have to follow all these module, or we have to prepare the documents with respect to these modules, and we have to prepare a dossier for filing. Now, with the aim of overcoming the challenges of managing huge volumes of paper-based product, so the agencies have decided that you can file the dossier in eCTD format, that is in electronic format. So offers this offers a lot of benefits, as it can result in more precise submission. It reduce the duplicate submission because of better organization of documents. Less storage is required. It is a single application format, and it reduce total cost of submission life cycle process. So in in electronic CTD, you can file in a better way, and with a in a fast submission is you can do. So now, after filing the dossier, how the drug product approval process is been carried out. So we will look at the how the process is being carried out. So, what are the requirements for the drug product approval? So, there are some requirement for the drug to be approved by the regulatory agency. Mainly, so you can see that the brand name drug NDA requirements. So, these are the requirements to be followed for the only NDA application, that is new drug application. And generic drug ANDA requirement means this to be followed by the ANDA requirements. So, the ANDA application. So you can see that the chemistry, manufacturing, controls, labeling, and testing. These are the common parameters we have to follow for both NDA and ANDA. But additionally, in NDA, the animal studies, clinical and bioavailability studies has been carried out. As I have said earlier, these studies are carried out by the R&D or by the innovator company. But for ANDA, we have to do only bioequivalence with respect to the RLD or with the NDA application. So these are the requirements for the drug product approval process. So FDA approved the generic drugs that must be meet the rigid standard. So as I have said earlier in earlier slide, that we have to do only bioequivalence study for the ANDA application. But these are the say but the regulatory bodies, they strictly monitored that same standard has been same standard, we have to kept the same standard as that of the innovator drug. So what are the requirements for the generic drug? Contain the same active ingredients as an approved reference listed drug. That is, the same active should be there. Identical in strength, dosage form, route of administration, same indication we have to do. It should be bioequivalent. It meet the same requirement as of identity, strength, purity, and quality. Manufactured under the strict standard of FDA's good manufacturing practices. So these are the some requirements for the approval process. So let's have a look at the flow chart, how the drug ANDA approval gets, what is the process. So the applicant, it prepares the ANDA, it files the ANDA acceptable and complete. If it is accepted, then it will review by the OGD or CDR. So these are the regulatory bodies. They will review our A&E application, and if they are not acceptable, then it comes to a refuse to file later. Then they issue the RTR. So again, we have to do refiling. And further, if it is acceptable, then it will be reviewed by the different regulatory departments, such as bioequivalence review. Then plant inspection will be carried out. Chemistry and micro department will review their part. Then labeling review will be done. So after all these concerned departments will review the particular topic, they will if it is go ahead, then finally it will give the pre-approval inspection. So it will go for the pre-approval inspection stage. Then after that, directly, if the approvable pending satisfactory result, then it will be directly the AND has been approved. So these are the flow chart of the drug product approval process. So, what are the review classification? As I said, they will review our A&D application. So there are some review classification present for the A&D approval. I can, as you can see, that the P letter P means priority review drug. So a drug that appears to present an advanced or over available therapy. So under this classification, our A&D will be reviewed on priority basis. Under the letter S, that is, it represents the standard review drug. So it is a normal process, and it will take their regular time for the standard review process. And for the O, that is comes under the orphan drug, a product that treats, as you know, the orphan drug, it's a rare disease affecting the fewer than 2 lakh Americans. So these are the review classification under which we can apply for the under which we can apply our ANDA dossier under this classification. So the standard, as you can say, that standard original ANDA, if we file under this standard time, the timeline is 10 months. And for under priority review, priority drug review, the timelines is within 8 months. So within 8 months, they will give you, the FDA will give the approval for the under the priority review, drug review. So there are some regulatory authorities of different regions. So as I am saying that we have to file the ANDA for the regulated market. So there are the different, these are the different regulated markets that we can file our ANDA. One is the European Union. The authority is called as European Medicine Agency, EMEA. So this is the website. Then US, as you know, US FDA, Food and Drug Administration. Japan has the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, Japan, PMDA. Then Australia has the TGA, this Therapeutic Good Administration. And for Canada, it is Health Canada. So you can visit this site, different site of the regulatory bodies, and in this site you will get how the process, how what are the new drugs that are coming in that filing in that regions. So all the information are present in this site of that respective regulatory bodies. So just this slide may be just for the information only, because there are different dossier filing requirements, as I said, in US, Europe, and Canada. So these are the comparative regulatory dossier filing requirements. So as I said, from developmental dossier filing. So what are the requirements of different regulatory bodies? For as I said that the batch size earlier, that minimum one tenth of the commercial batch size to be prepared for the pivotal batch size. Same has been applicable for the Europe and Canada also. So we have to prepare one tenth batch size should be there for the pivotal batch size. Then as we can say that pivotal bio studies, for example, fasting and fed is required by the US. Compulsory we have to do the fasting and fed study, but it depends upon the product. It will vary product to product. For the bio studies, there are the bio recommendation documents are available for the each and every product. So according to that, we have to do the bio study. But basically, in US, fasting and fed study is required. In Europe, mainly fasting studies is required, and in Canada as well, fasting studies is required. Then the stability data, as you can see, three batches, 6 months stability data we have to provide, and long term till shelf life. So same has been applicable to both the regulatories. Then stability data required for filing, three batches, 6 month ECC. In Europe, two batches, 6 month ECC. ECC means accelerated stability condition. Mainly 4075 will be considered as an accelerated stability condition. So as you can see, there are different parameters like dissolution media. So for dissolution media, we have to refer the OGD monographs. There is a site in USFDA, so we have to refer the OGD for the dissolution media. But in Europe, based on solubility, kinetics with justification, or sometimes based in BP. If it is official in BP, we can refer that dissolution method. But otherwise, we will develop an in-house method for the dissolution, and based on justification, we can file in Europe, and same in Health Canada also. Okay, so that's it from my side. And if you have any question, and I'm ready to answer.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Amit, there is a question from the student. Uh,
Yes.
what are what are the uh, requirements for filing the dossier?
Requirements for filing the dossier. Hello. Is the requirements for filing a dossier, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Requirement for the filing of dossier.
Okay. As in my presentation, I have said that. So the requirements mean basically the requirements. Just a second. So basically, for requirements, what are the requirements for filing a dossier? So we have to file. We have to. There is a checklist for that dossier filing. We have to follow that checklist, and it contains, as I said in my one of my slides, is modules. So module 1 to 5, there are different requirements. You can go to the site, and or whether we can have another session in this regarding this. So from module 1 to 5, all the requirements we have that are present in the checklist we have to follow. For example, in module 3, quality. So with respect to quality, we have to submit the documents. We have to submit that we have developed the product, we have taken the proper scale up, we have properly done the pivotal batches. So all these documentation we have to submit to the in the dossier. Okay, so with respect to quality, and for example, with respect to module 5, that is clinical study report, as I said, we have to after doing the pivotal bio study, there is a report that has been generated by that concerned department. So we have to submit that all detailed report in the dossier. And before that, the protocol is also there. In clinical study protocol, the protocol contains all the information. How many patients we are taking for the bio study, for the bioequivalence studies, what are all the with name and with the detailed information, the protocol has been designed. After that, we conduct the bio study, and after the results, we prepare that report. So all this information we have to cover in this module 5. So considering each and every part, we have to go for this module according to the module, and we have to file for the dossier. And for example, non-clinical study reports, and in CTD summary. So in CTD summary, what is all the information, all process optimization batches, right from the development, from the if you have applied the QBD or if you have applied the DOE trials. So all that information we have to cover in as per this module, and we will file the dossier. And basically from R&D level, we prepare one document, as I said in earlier, that is PDR, that is product development report. So in that report now, all that information is already captured, right from the sourcing of the API, from right from the evaluation of the API till product till our pivotal batch studies, all the parameters. So we have to show that we have developed this product, we have taken these different trials, we got this result, but after this we have finalized this formula, and we have done process optimization, formula optimization. So all this information we have to capture in that product development report, and this is further we will have to add in this module, and this has been submitted as a dossier. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes,
Yes.
am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Amit, one more question that how we can have the selection criteria to have the excipients or inactive ingredients in the development
Okay,
of
selection criteria.
right.
Selection. Okay. So for basically for the generics or for the ENDA generics, we try to keep the same excipient as that of innovator, because we have already have the information which excipients they have used, and we try to keep the same excipients. But in case in for example in modified release dosage form, there are some polymers that we have to evaluate, and that polymers we have to uh, optimize, or we have to evaluate which polymers we have to do, or which polymers we have to take. After that, after selection of excipients, we see for the inactive ingredients database. So if you visit on the USFDA site, there is one link of IIG limit. So after that, we have to refer that IIG limit also. So for example, we if we are using one excipient, and in a tablet formulation, that the dose is and the quantity of that excipient, suppose 500 mg or for 200 mg. So we have to look that the limit should not exceed as per IIG limit. So there is some in IIG limit for each and every excipient. There is a limit has been recommended by the FDA. We cannot go beyond that limit. But in case if we want to go beyond that limit, uh, as per and if you want to go beyond that limit of that using excipient level, we have to provide a justification that this level or this quantity will not impact on the human safety and efficacy. So
Right.
on this basis, we have to evaluate the qualitative wise and quantitative wise selection of the excipients.
Yes, thank you. Uh,
Yes.
Before concluding the session, I will announce the participant to give the feedback of today's session or any remarks you can give, please. So, Amit, I'm very much thankful to you because
Uh,
the generic product and am I audible? Yes, Amit.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
So, generic product development and ANDA filing, it is one of the very vast topic. It is
Yes,
difficult
yes.
to
Yeah.
complete this
Capture.
topic in
Yes,
single
yes,
lecture.
yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes,
So
yes,
basically, you have tried your level best and you
yes,
have very nicely compiled all the basic information as well as the whole process in very short period of time. Hope
yes,
we will
ma'am.
continue this topic in future also
Yes, ma'am.
so that
Yes, ma'am. You
audience
can
will get
from yes, sorry to interrupt you, but as I told, this is a very vast topic, and each and every topic is more detailed information to be captured, because it is a very vast topic, and there are different guidelines or different documents that we have to follow and each and every part we have to look during the development. So it is a very vast topic. Hope I have tried my best to capture all the information. But yeah.
Can you give a few suggestions to the student, as you are also the pharmacy student and now you are working in the
Yes.
pharmaceutical industry? So how the student can uh, do the study or with respect to the industrial perspective?
Basically, for the I will tell based on the students. So for first for the MPharm students. So for the MPharm students, which are they are for the first year and second year, whatever projects you have, the students have been assigned. So I can say the industry work and the project work in MPharm. These are the replica of each other. In project work, we do the literature search, we do the literature of all the required literature, then we develop, then we procure we take the sample from, if we get the API sample or excipient sample, then we develop into the dosage form. And in case for some project, I have seen that it has been gone to animal studies also. So this flow or this pathway is same we have follow in the industry. We same follow the same path. So you have to do whatever you are doing for the project. You have to very keen. You have to your knowledge should be very thorough knowledge should you should have whatever you are doing. What are what are your final goal with respect to that project, whether you have to do complete till PK studies or animals preclinical studies you have to perform. So accordingly, you have to start literature and all that preparation. And for the BPharm students, yes, I will suggest that now not only BPharm, you have to further studies to MPharm also. Post graduation is compulsory nowadays, and I will suggest if PhD, you can do continuation in a PhD. It's better. So because now the industry scenario is changing now. Basically, earlier what was happen, it was only the BPharm requirement for the industry, but now the MPharm has basic requirement is you should be MPharm. But now in future it will change to PhD. So it will be better if you do the PhD also. And whatever you are doing, you have to be interest. You have to show the interest in developing the project while handling the project. And also while writing the thesis also, you have to be the same what I have said, that we developed our PDR report, that is product development report for filing. The same you should the MPharm students is doing for the submission of the thesis. So how to write the thesis and all that, you should be very well, you should be very much effective in that, because the same has to you have to do in industry also. You have to do literature search, you have to do all the other activities. I will suggest that. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Amit. You have given
Yes,
very
thank you,
nice
ma'am.
suggestions to all the BPharm students and the MPharm students.
Inform students. Yes, ma'am. Thank
Yes.
you.
So I'm very much thankful to the respected principal, Dr. Sanjay Shivsagar, who motivated us to start this technical lecture series. So in order to fulfill the gap between the academics and the industry, we have started this technical lecture series, and in future also we will continue the same with the assistance of the different faculties from the various pharmaceutical industries. Okay. So I'm very much thankful to the trustees of Bhujbal Knowledge City, respected Chagan Bhujbal sir, respected Samir Bhujbal sir, respected Pankaj Bhujbal sir, respected Shefali Bhujbal ma'am, and all the teaching and the non-teaching staff of MEDS Institute of Pharmacy. I'm very much thankful to today's speaker, Mr. Amit Patni, who has included all the information which is very important in the generic product development and ANDA filing. Thanks a lot, Amit, for sharing your
Thank
valuable
you,
time
ma'am.
and sharing
Thank you,
your
ma'am, for
knowledge.
giving me. Thank you for giving me a chance to giving to for lecture. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yes, we will see in future to share more
Yes, yes,
information on the
definitely.
other topics
Yes,
also.
if any particular topic you require, then you can suggest us. So, or me, I can try to deliver that topic also.
Yes, thanks a lot. On very short time of notice, you have delivered very nice information. Thanks a lot, Amit.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.